Okay, so we're going to slide our fabric under the presser foot, folded edge first, and we're going to line the fabric up as best we can with the edge of the presser foot, and then drop the presser foot down. Now, just to show you, we're working with a 1 centimetre seam allowance, and the gap between my needle point, which is highlighted by the groove in your presser foot, this is a universal foot here, and the edge is 1 centimetre, as you can see from that sewing gauge. So if it's not, you may need to adjust your needle position to the left or right to make sure that you get that easiness. Otherwise, you might need to use some sort of sewing gauge that you can just attach to the machine. You can get loads of really good magnetic ones which just sit on your sewing plate, and that will help you to get a nice straight seam. I always start by inserting the needle into the fabric by hand using the hand wheel, just to make sure that I'm exactly where I want to be and ready to set off. And when you are, just put your foot down on the power and away we go. Back to our reverse stitching and forward again, and off we go, just following the edge of the fabric. Keeping your hand out of the way of the needle, obviously. I use my left hand as a guide just to keep the fabric moving smoothly. It's not pushing or pulling the fabric through at all, it's just sort of holding it in place so it doesn't swing around. And then we get to the corner. If you're a little bit worried about over or undershooting, slow down, and if you need to, you can always do the last few stitches by hand by turning the hand wheel. When you think you're at the right spot, you need to make sure that your needle's going straight through into the machine. At that point, you can lift your presser foot and just swing the fabric around on that needle position. Line it up again, drop the presser foot down, and away we go on our second side. You can see I'm just adjusting the fabric as we go. This is the wonky edge of the fabric, and we had to sort of manipulate to get a straight line. That's settled down again now, but you can see that the two edges are lined up, and we're going to go till we get to our 5 centimetre marker, which is coming up now, where we need to stop sewing and give a little bit of extra back stitching. Slow it down if you want to, and then back stitch again. There we go. Okay, lift your presser foot, pull it off the machine, put your threads. Done. So you can clearly see the little bit of extra reinforced stitching there, and this is where we get to take advantage of that finger pressed edge now, because we're going to put some pins now in this edge. If you remember, there's a selve edge folded back on itself, that's the neat side, and we are just going to put some pins in at the 2.5 centimetre mark all the way around. More pins the better if you're a beginner. As I said, if you feel that you're competent and can get away without pins, that's at your risk, go for it. I always like to put a few pins in just to hold it in place. It saves time when you're sewing, having to muck about with it. And then on this unfinished edge, the bit where we've just finished our stitching, you can see that that is nice and tight there with the over edging, so hopefully it's not going to pull under the tension and it's not going to start to split. But now we need to finger press this little bit of seam allowance now, and then we're going to fold that selve edge back to the finished and open stitched edge, and we're going to pin that in place just to hold it down. And obviously we need to do the same on the other side, so fold down the seam allowance, finger press it smooth, fold back and then pin it in place, and then just check that they match up, which they do pretty nicely there. So we're going to set this back on the machine now. We're going to start sewing at the red pin. We'll need to back stitch here, and then we're going to sew all the way around in a loop till we get to the blue pin, where we finish our straight stitching, and then we're going to finish off the bag by doing a zigzag stitch all the way around the two sides. Okay, so slide the fabric over the extension plate of your free arm if that's how you're working. Line that up. Now we're going to line it up with the fabric up with the inside toe, the left hand toe of the presser foot here. Drop the presser foot down again, insert the needle by hand. Once you've got your fabric in the right spot, insert the needle by hand, make sure you're where you want to be, and then we are ready to go. I'm just going to take that pin out just so that it doesn't catch as we get going, and off we go, forward and back, and let's just sew around in a loop. Coming up to the last bit now, I'm going to take that blue pin out, hold the fabric in place and just backstitch to finish. So what we've just sewn there is a casing which is going to take our cotton tape to allow the bag to fasten. And then we're on to the last section. We're just going to over edge the raw edges to make them a bit more durable as they go through the wash. Easier to manage wear and tear. So zigzag stitch, forward and back, and then all the way around. This time with our seam allowance, we've not really got any seam allowance because it's not a seam, but our stitching allowance. Okay, we're going to try and line up the fabric with the inside right toe of the presser foot. Keep it in line. A little bit when you're coming up to the corner. You need to do the same trick as you did on the last time. Make sure that the needle is right the way through the fabric. Pivot that fabric on the needle, drop your presser foot back down, and away we go. Here we are back at the beginning, that nice folded edge. Slow down, back stitch, and we're done. Okay, so the last finishing off bits now, all we need to do is check around all the way around the edges, trim off any straggling threads that we've missed, make sure we've taken all the pins out, all the way around, check threads at the top, there's the last straggler. And then we just need to feed through the cotton tape to form our bag tie. So we feed it through the casing, and this is where we need our trusty safety pin. So taking the end, one of the ends of the tape, just fold it in half for a bit of extra strength. Feed the safety pin through that folded edge, close it up, and then we're going to insert it into one of the openings that we created on the top of the bag. So the safety pin goes in, and then you keep pushing the safety pin along with the index finger of your right hand, and you want to feed it through between your thumb, forefinger of your left hand, and then gently tease that fabric along the length of the tape, and then we go again. So we keep pushing till it all gathers up along the safety pin till it can't take any more, and then you pull it loose. Push, 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 push. One more, and then pull it along the tape. Nearly round now. Push, push, push. Pull it along the tape, and here we are back at the other side. Next opening, and here we go. Safety pin just got caught under that folded edge, and there we go. So we can pull the head of the safety pin out, unpin it, put that on one side, and then just line up the two edges of tape, knot them couple of centimetres in, just to make sure that when you flatten this all out and readjust the tape in the casing, you don't lose the end and have to do it all over again. So just pull that tight, pull it all through, take up the slack. One more time, take up the slack. There we go. And then we just need to turn it inside out. So to do that, we go through to the corners with your thumb, stick your thumb in the corner and push them through with your index finger to flip it back the other way. Get a nice point. Same on the other side. Push it around your thumb really tight. Push in with your index finger and flip that through the other way so you get a point. If you want to be really precise with your corners, you can use something like the little pointer to just push them out. But you really don't need to for this project. It's a wash bag, remember. Okay, and there we go. One completed Scrubs wash bag. And there's its partner from the other side, from the other ½ metre. 2 wash bags, good to go. So just finally then, a word about packs. If you are interested in making some of these bags but don't have cheap and cheerful polycotton materials, then I'm happy to provide them at cost. So £2.50 per metre of fabric to make 2 bags. That will include the 2½ metres you require of cotton tape and a safety pin. If you don't need the safety pin, please let me know, because obviously I'm trying not to create waste. So if you've got a stack of them at home and don't need one, again, just let me know. If there are extras that you need, like if you need just a reel of simple basic thread, those are also being sold at cost. They're just £1 each. And sewing gauges, although I don't have very many of these are just 60p. In terms of how we sort out payment, I can invoice you direct as long as you've got a PayPal account, and we can communicate all that through Facebook Messenger, and we can also arrange for them to be distributed or for you to pick up and me to drop off by that means as well. So if you are local in Clitheroe and I can catch you on my morning exercise walk, I'm quite happy to pack up and deliver to you on my route. Equally, if you're coming into town to do your shopping or having a walk around town to do your exercise and wander past Patches and Buttons every other day, I am in there for a couple of hours sorting out all my eBay orders, so we can make an appointment for you to come and pick up. We can do a no contact pickup. Bags can be left by the door, so literally just pop your head in, say hello, grab your kit and go. Hope all that makes sense. I'm sure there'll be questions. I'm sure there's possibly details that I didn't go over finally enough in the construction video. So if there's anything you want to ask, please just ask below. Thanks very much for watching. Hope to hear from you soon. Bye bye.